We offer this form to the sky, the sea, and the earth. Thanks, Rook, for coming. I don't think I could have done this alone.
Death is hard. Funerals are meant to make it easier.
Funerals give you a chance to say goodbye, even if they never hear it. Anyways, we need to light 3 more braziers. Each one represents an aspect of the self. It's been this way for centuries. It's part of who the Dalish are. Maybe the archive could have told me why before I freed it, but it's what I know and what I want.
I know it's hard, but you can do this.
I already buried him once. At least this time, it's for real. Let's head to the first brazier. Okay, the first brazier should be ahead somewhere.
How far?
However far it needs to be, I guess. I wonder what we lost by freeing the archive, I mean.
Besides an opportunity to be called witless fool a dozen times a day?
Definitely not gonna miss that.
Belara,
Hey, Irilyn.
look, if you need to talk, let me know. I don't want our history to make things awkward, and I'm still your friend, you know? Anyways, time to light the first brazier.
A third we give to the sky to share your story with the sun and moon. Feels a little weird saying that one with everything we know now. It's not the ancient elf's fault that Elgernon is, well, what he is. Did I make the right choice? Freeing the archive? Losing that piece of who we were?
I've had to make a lot of decisions. Some were hard, some were easy. Eventually you have to choose. And what happens, happens.
I just wish I knew whether I made the right choice. But I guess we really never know until it's all over. Anyways, let's head to the next brazier.
It's unusual to see all these obstacles in the way of a funeral. Death's hard to deal with, though, no matter where you come from.
Each obstacle's supposed to represent grief and moving past it, literally. But yeah, it's a little weird. Probably. Syrian would have laughed at it. Okay, on to the next brazier. What they did, the Evanurus, to us, I can never forgive.
With any luck, you can say that right to their faces.
Looking forward to it. Nev, what are you doing here?
What? You know I show up for you, Belle. They'd only let one of us come, though. The rest send their regards, especially Emmerich.
I'm just... Wow. Thank you, Nev. And everyone else.
Hey, as long as I'm around, you've got family. All right, go on and light the brazier.
we give to the sea, to share your story with the heart of the world. We always talked about visiting other lands. Syrian and me, I mean. Does the rest of the world look like Thedas? Shattered by the Evanurus? What would things have been like if they'd never existed?
I think Anaris proved it wasn't just the Evanurus who wanted power. But that's not unique to elves. Look at the Venatori and the Antam.
I keep trying to remember. The Elven were the first people the Evanurus enslaved. They broke us and kept us broken. We survived in spite of them, not because of them. But it's still hard, knowing what I know. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, one more brazier to go. I'd always get the words wrong. In the rituals, I mean. Syrian would laugh at me. Well, not in a mean way, and he'd help me. It meant a lot.
So why are there people waiting after the obstacles?
It's a reminder that on the other side of even the hardest days, people are there for you. I like it. It's literal in a really reassuring way.
Yeah, that's a nice thought. I thought Dalish clans planted trees for their funerals.
This is what we've always done, that I remember, anyway. Well, we didn't use ancient magic before. First time I went to a funeral was for my grandmother. I was 7, had to climb through a bunch of fallen trees. By the time I got to the end, I was dirty and tired and sad, but not as sad as I thought I'd be. So I guess it worked. At least a little bit.
Balara, I'm sorry about Syrian.
Thanks, Strife. I'm glad you're here.
He was one of us, even if he never officially joined.
He died protecting Arlathan, even knowing the cost.
Saving the world. Seems like it might run in the family. Time to light the last brazier.
And a third returns to the soil, to blossom once again into life. And that's it. A Dalish funeral, or one version, at least. It hasn't changed much in centuries, from and to the earth.
I think Syrian would have appreciated it. There's a reason it stayed constant for so long. The rituals tie us together.
You know, I thought I'd be sadder, but I'm okay, mostly. It hurts, but a little bit less every day. Freeing the archive, was it the right choice? Does it mean Syrian died for nothing?
Well, you sent Anaris back to whatever nightmare he came from. That's not nothing.
That's a really good point. He wanted to reclaim our past, find the truth of who we were. He never got that, never found out what he wanted. But he did the right thing. And I got to say goodbye. That's worth something, right? Now I have to live my life for him, for me, and for our people.
That's all any of us can do. Just keep living and putting one foot in front of the other.
It's just hard. Sometimes. Harder than it should be. We'll figure out who we were, who we are, and we'll do it the right way. It's time we let the ghosts of the past rest. I hope you've found peace, and that we'll meet again. Goodbye, Syrian. I love you.
What a terrible form of immortality has fallen upon Isaiah.
Gloomhowler, Isaiah. Should have died ages ago. Warden or not.
Why does the blight kill most people it touches, yet infuse a few with this dreadful vitality?
No idea. If I ever go bad like that, have Taj breathe on me. Go out in a blaze.
Have the vows and the vaults of the beloved been renewed? Very good.
Well, never re-raised the dead. I defer to the senior watcher.
I've never tried it either. In any other circumstance, this would be fascinating. We'll need assistance finding Manfred's wisp and drawing it back into his body. By pact and pledge, I seek an audience. By light and breath, let wisdom come. You've met these spirits before, but I've never properly introduced you. Rook, allow me to present two Necropolis guardians, the keepsake of ages and far-sighted curio.
Those your names? You're two of our oldest spirits.
We've watched long enough to be caught in paper thoughts.
Not that we've sought much fame.
Friends, my assistant, my ward, Manfred, sacrificed himself to save us.
We'd heard you'd abandoned Lichdom to bring him back. Your work, your dreams.
You paid the price. But it seems there are many flickers of curiosity in the Fade.
And only one you seek. Draw his wisp near. Speak.
Can I help?
Yes, please. Think of Manfred. Tell me something you felt about him. Concentrate.
He was always excited to be around you, Emmerich. If spirits can learn to love, he loved you.
In the sea of the Fade, there are wakes left by our passing. Our desires, our fears. I leave this beacon for you, Manfred. Follow my voice. Return to me, please. Manfred?
It worked.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful indeed.
Thanks for stitching that seam on my coat, Fred. It was coming loose. And nice new threads yourself.
Thank you.
Yes, we needed something to mark him as an apprentice around the necropolis.
It's a good fit. See you around.
Yes.
Oh, you know what to call me. Okay, bring it down now.
He's excited for his training. Manfred's spellcraft is coming along nicely, more or less. Some undead have the potential to cast magic. I believe his was unlocked by his journey through the Fade.
What was that like?
Dunno.
You mean you don't know?
Dunno.
We must work on that enunciation. Why don't you fetch the primer?
There goes our magic-flinging skeleton son.
Well, I wouldn't go so far. Certainly I've a responsibility to educate him, and he'll need moral guidance. Most spirits do. But did you know? Yesterday, he said the most amusing thing while...
He's got your eyes.
As he grows, Manfred will better learn to take care of himself. I won't worry so much when I pass on.
How do you feel about that last part?
I have moments of regret for what Lichdom might have been. But none would make me exchange this for anything.
I thought I'd let go of Syrian the first time. I didn't. Not really. This time, I don't know. I still don't know if I will.
You never do. Funny, the things that wake you up years after you think they're gone.
I'm at peace with it. Real peace this time. So even if I carry it with me, it's lighter now. Maybe I'm not making sense. Am I making sense?
I don't know, Belle. But if it works for you, take it.
Long night?
I'm still getting used to the dream thing.
What was your dream about?
Tomatoes. Or maybe they were apples?
At least it wasn't the one where you show up to a job naked from the waist down.
Huh. Where did you put your extra knives?
Rook, Efka and Antoine sent word. A warden's arrived at Lavendale with news. He might have a lead on Isaiah.
Then we've got to get to Lavendale.
Agreed. Thanks.
Venatori ransacked a shop near the plaza. Templars let it happen.
The Knight Commander interfering again. Isn't there something you can do about him? He answers to the Chantry.
I'm running into obstacles. He's got protection in the Magisterium.
You spend far too much time here, Dorian.
This is where all my favorite people are. And besides, I have news. And every messenger bird I've met is dreadful at nuance.
What's the problem with Magister Parvis being here?
He's our eyes and ears in the Magisterium. He needs to keep suspicion off him.
Yes, I know. Can't be spotted with the shadow dragons. You worry too much, May.
Well, what do you have for us?
The cult lost people in Arlethan, and leadership has fallen to Knight Commander Lenos. He aims to bring the city to its knees.
But Minrathous is already falling apart.
I know. While the Varantis' attack on the city could have been much worse, the people's fear in the aftermath is palpable.
And the rumors about the Archon are true. He's dead. Assassinated during the Dragon's rampage. The palace has tried to keep the news from spreading until a new Archon steps up.
And no one has?
No one dares. Not with the Venatori circling like vultures. The risen gods are preparing for something big. And for that, they need fear. Chaos.
More fear, more chaos. Haven't the Venatori done enough?
Restraint is not exactly their strong point, Rook. Lenos is the key to all of it. First, we stop what he's planning for Minrathous.
And then we find out what the gods are preparing for.
Let's hope it stays that simple. One of Lenos's Venatori associates is often at the Cobbled Swan. Let's see what we can get from him.
We? Dorian, you can't be going yourself.
It's the Swan. Everyone goes to the Swan.
I'll head out right now.
Brooke? Things are going well.
We really need to figure out the God's big plan. Dorian thinks Knight Commander Lenos is part of it, so let's track him down first.
Friends get the best prices. That's my guarantee. Keep safe out there.
So, Hezenkos, a weight off your conscience?
Oh, a great relief. That plan of hers to scourge Navarro.
A real charmer.
I'm sure you'll find a way to rout Aelia.
Yeah, that's the job. But we know how those go.
I'd only ever read about Minrathous before traveling with you. Very few books mention the sheer inequalities one sees on its streets.
I'm not surprised. You've probably got a sanitized version. We probably shouldn't keep Dorian waiting too long. These meetings can't be good for business. I'm here, Inquisitor. It isn't just Inquisitor, is it? You were someone before that.
Clan Llewellyn. We try to be no one you've heard of. Morrigan is holding a perimeter. We're alone. Tell me what Solus did at Elganon's ritual.
Sounds like you already know.
I need to hear it from you.
Elganon raised his archdemon. Solus got us out of there. We saved a lot of people.
You sound grateful.
Why not? He really did help.
It seems so. He's always thinking about where it ends. How many of his names do you know? God of Lies, Dreadwolf, Fen'Harel. They're titles he earned from enemies, followers, and fractured history. He and I shared another name. Vanan.
Your heart. He meant that much?
Yes, he did. You've spoken to him in your dreams. You felt the power of that mind. His love could burn against me like a bonfire. He seemed so kind, and wise, and sad, and looked at me as if I somehow mattered more than anything around us. For a time, I thought I would have followed anywhere he asked me to.
Did he try to get you to come with him on his quest to tear down the veil?
No. In fact, he forbade me to join him. He said he didn't want me to see what he would become. But that wasn't quite the truth. He's a terrible liar.
He's the god of lies, Inquisitor.
Tricks and treachery, yes. Lies of the heart? No. He forbade me to join him because I might have changed his mind. And then he left enough clues for us to follow anyway.
Hold on. You think he wanted you to stop him?
His name is Solus. It means pride. Perhaps he couldn't change his mind himself and hoped that someone else could help him. Or maybe I'm the prideful one, imagining his broken heart so that I never have to face my folly. That I loved someone who made such grave mistakes, that I might love him still.
You almost sound like you're ready to join him in that prison in the Fade.
To give up the world for him? No. We've got to save it first. But after? If there were a way? If he felt the same? If I could leave the world behind and just have him? I don't know.
One thing I've learned in this job is that the people I need the most are people who can tell me when I'm wrong.
We all need that sometimes.
It sounds like that's what you were for Solus. If the two of you were better people together and you were happy too?
I was.
This is all hypothetical anyway. He's trapped in the Fade with no way out.
He's surprised us before. But enough about me. Tell me about you and Emmerich.
What? Who? How?
Morrigan has eyes everywhere.
Oh, of course she does. How well do you know Maevaris?
By reputation, she's been a prominent politician for a long time, and a hero to boot. We don't work together much, but from what I've seen, she's earned the good name.
We probably shouldn't keep Dorian waiting too long. There's Dorian.
There's Lenos's associate. According to the shadows watching him, he's nervous and doesn't talk much, but does odd jobs for coin. Interesting, yes? I'll draw him off, you check his belongings, see if you can discover any clues about Lenos's plan.
Mostly gone. Warm. I don't even know what this is. Ale? Looks like he'd been nursing it a while. Half-eaten stale bread, water flask, muddy socks. And this map. Minratha's targets. That doesn't sound good. A bedroll. It's definitely seen better days. And it's damp. Sleeping out in the rain? This all sounds like trouble.
What are you poking about
Dorian will
there
wanna
for?
know.
Hey, I didn't see you rifling through customers' belongings, did I?
This customer might be associated with Venatori. Be careful.
If he's Venatori, he's not like any I've encountered. He comes in when we open, orders one drink, and sits in the corner all day. Then he leaves when we close.
Anything else you know about that customer?
I heard his name's Erasmus. Keeps to himself and doesn't bother anyone, so I let him stay.
Oh, I don't know. I just clear the tables.
Lenos intends to destroy the city with Blight and Darkspawn.
Carthus. Nothing like an attack to cause chaos in a city. You should head there immediately.
All right, let's go.
We've company.
I demand.
Something tore through these gates. Watch out. I bet this darkspawn was what tore through the gates.
Hail, cruel death!
More blight in the way. That did it. We can get through now.
There's quite a few of them.
Got us from a distance.
Everything's crumbling down here. Might be tricky to get out.
At least a dozen people have been lost trying to map this place. But I'd mention that. That's enough. Look for another blight boil.
Find the blight boils. We need to clear the way and keep pushing. We got it. Way should be clear.
Shadow dragons? How did you find this? Venatori, for me! Do you think you've won? Do you think you can stop the Venatori?
One less corrupt Templar in Minrathous.
Can't say he'll be missed.
Let's look around, see what we find. The Risen God's ritual. That's what the gods in the Venatori are preparing for. These star charts predict an eclipse. To make magic stronger.
So that's the play. A ritual performed under an eclipse to strengthen its power.
Lenos's documents. They detail Venatori's long-term plans and what they want to do with Tevinter. All this. The ritual, the eclipse, and the Venatori plans. We have to bring this to the Shadow Dragons immediately.
The Shadow Dragons will be pleased to learn of what transpired here.
Evil old gods, rituals, waiting for the stars. It's about as Tevinter as blood magic and hubris. Learning about the gods' plans is wonderful, of course. But the lists of magisters you got your hands on, now there's the real gold.
You've looked at it already. Of course you have.
Information on their backers, the ties to illegal slavery. Don't you see what this means?
This is power, May. Imagine becoming Archon and using this against those who've been hurting the people for years.
You? On the throne? Dorian.
Tell me that wouldn't be a splendid way to bring about real change.
Sounds like someone's got a plan.
Goodness, you make me sound absolutely nefarious. I love it. But yes, if the Venatori can scheme, so can we.
But how would you use this information exactly?
Dorian wants to use it to crush our enemies by whatever means necessary. I prefer to use it to rally the people. I say we make the information known. Allow the people to see the real justice served. Prove that from now on, we work for them.
We tried that already. Or have you forgotten the Lucerni? I no longer trust that political machine will work in our favor. No. We must get at the root of the problem before they can react. A more forceful approach. Destroy them and their networks utterly.
Swords and spies and blackmail? The devious means you learned in the South? If we go outside the system, we invite everyone else to do the same. No, we have to do this in the open. Show the people of Tevinter that we're here for them.
We're shadow dragons. It's right there in the name. You supported this because you knew the system didn't work for the people.
The point was to work in the shadows until we could work in the light. And Rook has brought us what we need.
May, the Imperium's politics burned you once and you still...
Enough. We're not the only ones who have a stake in this. Rook, you have been instrumental in all this. Which strategy do you prefer?
Shouldn't you be on the same side?
We are on the same side. We both know what Tevinter needs. How best to get it, that's the question.
If we went with Dorian's plan, I'd support it fully. But we won't, because he'll come around and realize that I'm right.
And I'd absolutely back you up on that, if you were right, which you aren't.
We'll see.
Will we?
What sort of change are you trying to achieve?
For a start, slavery. Abhorrent. It needs to go no more.
And Tevinter has been ruled by the Altus Mages for all of its history. That must change. The Zoparati, non-mages, deserve a say in their own governance.
And all that's just the beginning of what will undoubtedly be a long journey.
Dorian, are you really suggesting violent revolution?
Not necessarily. Sometimes a mere threat of violence is sufficient.
He learned that from his friends in the South. I hear Ferelden settled a succession crisis with a duel.
It worked. Astoundingly.
We're not Ferelden.
I'm merely saying we need to consider bold and creative methods of achieving our ends. The game is rigged. Why play by rules crooked magisters already exploit? Clear the board and start over. If they're gone, we can fill the magisterium with those who respect the office. Then we'll actually see progress.
Mevaris, you really believe making this evidence public will work?
Dorian wants to work behind the scenes, but once again, it's the Magisters and Highbloods pulling the Imperium's strings. That doesn't inspire. It's a tactic used by our enemies. We need to show Tevinter that we can be different.
Unless they find some way to bury it? Or leverage their wealth, power, and status as they often have before?
Politics is a long game. If we use force against our enemies, our allies will remember it.
You want me to choose who'll be Archon? But I'm not even from here. I can't decide.
Then talk to the ones who are. See what they say. Asher and Tarquin, Nev, Gallus, they're all a part of this, just as you are. We should all be comfortable with whatever course we take.
All right. I'll go do that.
Grand news about Lenos. One less crooked Templar in town.
Lenos got what he deserved.
Makes you smile, doesn't it? Drinks for everyone.
Lenos made my life miserable. Rana's too.
I hear he started out different. Maybe he once cared about something other than gold. But I didn't know that, Lenos. And I'm not gonna mourn the one I did. Still, I'll thank the bastard for writing everything down. And delivering it to us all neat.
Dorian and Maevaris still have to decide what to do with everything we got from Lenos.
Then they asked for my opinion. Can you believe it?
After all that talk about people needing a voice, I'd be looking at them sideways if they didn't.
I suspect this decision will determine Tevinter's path for years to come.
Then Dorian's way is my choice. He knows you don't stop to talk when you find a hole in the enemy's defenses.
Dorian is a brash rebel.
And Maevaris too much of a romantic.
I think the people will appreciate Maevaris returning as the leader they've always wanted to see.
No. They'll appreciate their lives actually changing for the better.
What do you think might happen depending on who leads?
With May, she gets power back again. Gets one more shot at changing Tevinter from the top down. Worst that could happen is nothing. But that's what you risk when all you rely on is hope. But with Dorian...
We could get chaos, strife. Things might get harder before they get easier. If they get easier.
I'll take my chances.
Ugh, this is not helping. At all.
If I'd known you wanted help, I wouldn't have said anything.
Quinn.
What? Opinions are cheap. Sometimes you just have to go where you go.
I have faith, Rook.
Still not helpful. So what do you think?
Lenos is gone. We got information about the Venatori's plans, the god's ritual. Would have liked to see his face when he lost, but having him gone is good enough.
I meant about Maevaris and Dorian. We all want change. Who will be the more effective in getting it?
Oh, that. You're dragging me into it?
Maevaris said talk to Nev. I'm talking to Nev.
Maevaris Talani has been in this game for decades. She's dedicated and ruthless when she needs to be. Dorian Parvis is a wild card. Flashy and inventive, he'll keep his enemies on their toes. But damn it, there's no right answer. They both play the game well, and Tevinter's ready for change. But the best way to get it, who can make it happen, I wish I knew.
Maker. A full quarter of the Magisterium supporting a cult. Bending the knee to these risen old gods just for a taste of more power. Can they not see they're only tools for the gods? So they can destroy the world?
Demanding intelligence, rationality, and self-awareness from our peers. You ask too much, Maevaris.
Look at me. Such a fool.
Ah, it's Rook. You spoke with the others.
What do you think? Who should be leading the charge from here on?
What happens after it's decided who'll lead?
Well, Lenos is gone, the cult's numbers are down, and they're scrambling to prepare for the god's ritual. They'll be distracted. It's a perfect opportunity to get our preparations in order.
All plans contingent on surviving the current disaster, of course.
Dorian should lead.
Then it is decided. Of course, it only makes sense, but... Ha! Look at me! The sudden pressure.
You won't be alone. All of us are behind you. The Shadow Dragons, the city, her people.
It will take all of them to overcome the risen gods.
You'll find a way to bring them together.
The people know they don't want blight-ridden fiends in their city. They don't need me to tell them. I can, however, show them how to fight. Gods, cults, evil magisters, nothing will stand in our way of forging a new Tevinter.